Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Strange and Mysterious Podcast. I'll be one of your hosts today, G. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right, I'm BR, and I got some good stories to tell.
Nah, he doesn't.
Yeah, and I'm McVice. I don't know if you'd call my stories good, but we'll chime in, and I guess we'll see how it goes.
Funny little thing. That's his actual picture. I'm letting you know that.
Yeah.
That's what he actually looks like in real life, right?
Yep, I live in an 8-bit world, and it's two-dimensional. So, yeah.
I like that, man. I like that.
That's that old Contra. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, in this world, everyone's a commando. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say Commando. What's that game? That 2-bit, that 8-bit game? Is it Commando?
Super C is, well, you had Contra, then you had Super C. So basically, I just took one of the, like you got like a red and a blue guy. Those are like the main characters in that video game, and I just made them green and black. Cool.
It works, man. That's cool.
Hey, it matches you, Reg. That's all I gotta say.
I know. That's why I did
it. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Episode 1. Today we are going to be talking about ghostly encounters, strange encounters that we've had. So I know one person in here, probably 2 people in here, besides myself, that have some crazy ass stories. All right. So I'll give it to Benjamin BR. Go ahead and do what you do. Talk about your craziest ghostly encounters.
Well, I would say that I used to be a skeptic before all this, man. My grandma.
You look like a skeptic. I could see it in your eyes.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know. I have to have proof. I'm the type of guy where I have to have proof about stuff. But when I was younger, man, we used to always go to my grandma and grandpa's house in Santa Fe, and they used to live right near graveyard. No bullshit. They used to live right near a graveyard, and so we would go to their house, and my grandpa would be like, "No, the graveyard used to be underneath their house as well." When my grandpa actually was building the house, they actually took some graves, like the tombstones, and they removed them, and they found coffins and shit when they were rebuilding the house and adding on to the house. So that's kind of crazy, man. Finding coffins and shit and gravestones, and so anyways, they lived a little bit offside. So the graveyard used to be bigger than what it was. And so they built all kinds of houses, and then they made the graveyard smaller. And so when we'd always go over there, we'd just be like, "Oh shit, this is getting real now. Living next to a graveyard and supposedly living on top of a graveyard, man."
That must have been weird.
That's gonna freak anybody out.
Hey, but how long was like your grandparents living there?
Oh shit, like that. We're talking 1970s, 60s, 1970s and 60s.
Because they were from Santa Fe originally, right?
My grandpa originated from Mexico, and my grandma was originally from Santa Fe. And my grandpa, he met my grandma in Santa Fe. So I mean, it was 1960s, maybe late 50s. They bought that house and they started adding on to it. But yeah, man, they built all the graveyard used to be bigger, but they made it smaller, and then they built houses on the outside of it, I guess, or whatever. But
was it a pretty big grave, like I guess like a big place where they had all the stones and everything, or
yeah,
what did it look like?
Man, like they found like little coffins and shit. I'm not little
bullshit. Coffins,
little coffins of little kids or some
what?
Shit. My grandpa was telling me. Wow. But anyways, like when they were adding onto the house, they were, it's crazy. So I remember when we were going over there, we would always freak out, and my brother Josh would be like, "Nah, I'm not going." So I would always go to my dad with it in the Cougar. Remember the Cougar? We'd always drive from Roswell to Santa Fe all the time, man.
Wait, are we talking like a mountain lion cougar or like a attractive old lady?
No, the car. Remember the car?
The car. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Damn, my bad, guys.
Hey, that was a cougar before what you knew what a cougar was.
Yeah, it was a 1977 Cougar, and I always remember my dad would be like, "Hey, man, let's go in the Cougar and drive to Santa Fe or to my mom's house." I was like, "Oh shit!" And everybody was too scared to go. Like, I'm not going to grandma's house. Screw that shit. So I was like, I'll go. So I went with my dad, I remember one time. And we stayed in that room in that add-on of the house where they were saying that they found all kinds of shit when they were building it, or tombstones, coffins, whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. So nobody ever never wanted to stay in that back room, but me and my dad. Of course, my dad's like, hey, let's go sleep in that room. I was like, okay, sure. So I remember sleeping one night, man, no bullshit. I would feel my sheets and my covers moving all the time. One time we were in the living room and we would hear shit falling and stuff. And I was like, oh shit, this is getting real now,
Mhm.
I mean, dude, that house is it's crazy. One time, so my grandma was like, okay, guys, you need to put some powder in your shoes. And I was like, okay, this is weird. Why does this lady want to, okay, so we'll do whatever. So we put that,
Old Mexican brujeria.
yeah, so we put the powder in her shoe. Next morning, everybody was scared shitless to go to the bathroom at night. Nobody's like, so they stayed in bed and waited for the next morning. Next morning, no bullshit, there was foot powder from the other side of the bed walking around our bed like that in a circle.
Oh, hell no.
And so I asked everybody, I'm like, did anybody get up? No, because everybody's scared shitless. They're staying in bed. Yeah, you need a piss? You're staying in bed. I'm not lying, dude. It's freaking. It's dark as hell in that house. So yeah, there was footprints walking around the bed.
Now, what size of like footprints were they? Like man, little
They were like
babies,
They were like
rats.
size, man, and they walked around the bed like that. And I asked my grandma, I was like, "Did you get up?" Asked my dad, "Did you get up?" No, nobody got up, man. But somebody left a trail of footprints around her bed. And you would hear voices all the time, man. And I would just pretend. I would just, put the covers on my head. I'm gonna try to sleep. But I don't know, man. That's the history of my grandma's house, man. Like there was always stuff going on, and you were like, I wish Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters existed back then. I guarantee that's a hot activity spot.
My bet on who that was is probably named either Joshua or
No.
you, because you know how they would get up in the middle of the night, go outside and go do what they have to do.
This was just when me and my dad went, and there was my grandma and my grandpa.
Oh, okay, so there was nobody there.
Yeah, this was the time when we went. We took the Cougar that one time, and we drove over there, and yeah, man, it was crazy, man. Like that house, I would love to go back to the house and try to get an EVP or something, and try to get something. I bet you we could, man, with that house. That shit was haunted, man. But before that, man, I didn't believe shit until, I experienced that, who knows, man? Who knows what happened,
Hey, who was the one, I want to say it's either your dad or your grandfather that was like back in is it like the 19...
Were you going to tell that story?
40s with the black eyes, or what was it?
Well, there was this story.
That shit was freaky as hell.
Okay, so this is a crazy story, and it's a true story. My grandpa was even dying to the day telling us this story. So my grandpa used to work in Mexico, and he would drive car. I don't know if he was like driving cars or doing shipments or whatever, but he would always make shipments in Mexico. Driving on the freeway late, and he would be late at night.
What town was it? Chihuahua? I mean the state, or where was it?
Few towns, dude. I don't even remember, man. But I just know that one night he would always hate having to make this one trip on this one route. And then he was going in this tunnel, and he would see this figure with white eyes smiling at him.
Oh man.
And then one time, dude, I swear to God, he was like, oh shit, maybe I was just hallucinating or something. Maybe I was just tired and I saw shit. So he would do the drive again. And then he would go in the same tunnel, and then he saw this guy with big, this guy didn't even have a face on him. He just had big white eyes, and he could just see his teeth smiling at him.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Fuck that.
I'm out.
Oh man.
I remember him telling us he drove,
Jesus.
and then he kept on seeing the guy, dude. He would pass the tunnel, and then he would keep on driving on hills, and he would see the same guy, and he was like, okay, I didn't drink anything, did I?
Dude.
Anyway, so he saw the guy crossing in front of him, and he ran right through him. He's like, okay, this ain't a person. I'm just gonna drive right through this dude, So he drove right through the guy, and then he was like, okay, shit, maybe it was a person. Maybe I hit him. And then he looked back, and there was nothing there.
Damn.
So this one route, dude, he was just like, screw this shit, man. I'm not doing this route again. But us guys would always joke around and be like, maybe he was drunk. and he hit some dude, some homeless person. But I don't know, man. The way he said it though was kind of convincing too. You know, it was like, oh shit.
Dude, I
Yeah.
don't know. There's so many crazy stories out of Mexico about, especially some of those small towns. You know, like the rural areas. There's some creepy stuff,
Well,
man.
dude, I bet, man. And remember,
Right.
civilization hasn't adapted to our time yet. In some of those areas, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Hey, and the most famous, of course, is La Llorona, right? That's like the most
Oh,
famous
fuck.
from Louisiana all the way down to Latin America.
Oh yeah, dude. That's
Fuck
a
that.
crazy story, man. That's a crazy story, man. But
Have y'all seen the movie La Llorona, by the way?
No.
it was okay. I saw it in the movie theater. It was all right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The director's really good though, man. Like with I think that's the same guy that made the Conjuring movies, right? I think it's the same Conjuring movie.
When we were kids, Reg, my grandma, our grandma, used to live by a river, right? A little
Yeah.
river, Pecos River. And they would always tell us, hey, you guys need to get in by 6, because if not, La Llorona is going to get you. Do you remember that, Ben?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. And we didn't go out. Let's just put it that way, man. But we would always hike over there, man. Reg, no bullshit, dude. We'd hike.
Yeah.
Joke, Gabe caught a fish and choked it one time because he couldn't catch it.
Hey,
Oh
we
yeah,
gave him a
Gabe.
ghost
Oh
fish.
yeah.
It was a ghost fish now.
That's what's walking around your bed now, boy.
Fish, but, yeah, guess what? Gabe choked one. I don't know how he did it, but he choked it.
Ew.
And he brought it
Hey,
up.
I plead the fifth. I don't know anything about that fish. Hey,
I'm not
I
gonna
choke
lie,
chickens
man.
now. I don't choke fish.
But other than that, though, yeah, no, it was pretty freaky, dude. And actually, I have some crazy memories about grandma's house, dude. Because when you would close the lights in those houses, like, dude, I'm not lying. It was pitch freaking black in that house. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like when everybody would close the lights, and then you would hear like these old clocks ticking and shit. You're like, damn, this shit's old, ancient. When you have those clocks, you know, those old-fashioned clocks, you would hear them.
Yeah.
With
And
the
you know
bird.
what? BR brings up a good point, man. Like I've been in houses like that where once the lights go off, it's like you go beyond another level of darkness. And I've only experienced this like out in the woods, you know? It's so black that it's like you're almost seeing something else because it's so damn dark, you know?
Hey, it's like Dave
disturbing.
Chappelle, Wesley Snipe dark, huh?
No, it's way beyond that, man.
It's even
You
darker
know?
than that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, when you go outside and there's like the moonlight. There's nothing, dude. There's
Nothing.
light,
Yeah.
pitch freaking black, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like it's weird how like sometimes you encounter blackness that is like so black, it's like darker than black, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It's disturbing.
It's creepy, dude. It's creepy. It's just like, I'm gonna have to, I don't know, man. It's creepy. I just remember going to grandma's house and I'm like, shit, I don't even know how to turn the light on to go to the bathroom, man. Because so where the fuck? Like that's how dark that house got. I remember when we would, turn off.
So
the
who
light.
was scarier, our grandma or your dad's side grandmas?
My dad's side, because that house was. Dude, I'm not lying for you guys. If you want to experience, we should. One of these days we'll go. We'll talk to the guy. The guys. So my grandparents sold that house for like $200,000, but they were done. Like they could have sold that house for downtown Santa Fe. The property on that place that that shit's expensive as hell, man. But they sold it for like $200,000, and they sold it to like a painter or some shit, and the guy remodeled it for like $1 million.
Oh,
But dude, I would love just to go back over there and be like, hey man, can I just stay here one night and try to pick up some EVP shit or something? That'd be dope as hell. And
That would be nuts.
shit.
Hey, why are you staying at my house for some EVPs?
Well, yeah, that's the next thing we should do, guys.
Yeah, your ghost stories, man, are nuts. But I know that McVice's got some crazy stories too. Because I was in the house where he was like experiencing all kinds of shit going on. So tell him what's up, McVice. That was nuts.
Okay. So I guess I'll start off with the house that G's talking about. I was in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and this was like, I don't know, time frame of 2011 to 2013 when this stuff was going on. And I was so just to give you, I was like working in the oil industry at the time, and I lived in this house. It was like a 5-bedroom house, and we had like 5 or 6 roommates at the time. But what had started happening, man, is, I want to say this is like 2012,
Yeah.
2013 sometime. I don't know, man. Like I would go to bed and some nights I swear to God, man, I would sound like a little girl was whispering in my ear right as I was falling asleep. And
Oh, that's
I'd
nuts.
like wake up and like look to my left,
Oh yeah.
and I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck, Like,
Mhm.
and then I'd have a hard time going back to sleep after that. And then, so that would happen like on and off, just at random times. It wouldn't happen every night. It would just happen at random times, you know.
Mhm.
But the other thing that happened that was real strange in that house was one night I was sleeping, man, and just in the middle of my sleep, dude, it's like something punched my bed and woke me up. Like I sprung out of my bed, like looking for who the hell was in my bedroom.
Did you
And
think it
there's
was
no
like
one
one
there.
of your what do you call it? Your roommates?
Dude, I didn't know I was asleep. I was like in the middle of my sleep, dreaming, and something physically punched my bed, like to the right of my
That
foot.
would wake me up.
Yeah, it would wake anyone up,
Oh, yeah, man.
And I sprung up immediately, like, what the,
Yeah.
expecting to see someone standing right there,
Yeah.
and there was nothing, And then I remember after that one happened, like I got up, turned on the light, I looked under the bed, I looked in my closet and stuff. Then I walked outside, onto the hallway and stuff, and like all my roommates were asleep, man. So I was like, okay, that was
Oh,
a bit
yeah,
odd,
man.
Hey, and didn't you used to live with a girl that was a witch?
Let's see. Did I used
Wasn't
to,
one of your roommates a witch?
um
Yeah, I bet you that didn't
trying to
last.
think. Maybe. I don't remember anymore, but I don't know, man. Just to summarize, some weird stuff like that happened at that house. Like another strange thing that happened once was, and Gabe's been to that house. I was outside smoking in the front, and it's a two bathroom house. So right as you come into the front door, there's a bathroom immediately to your left, and like the window for the bathroom is like right there at the front porch. And I used to smoke there at the front porch a lot. But one night, dude, I was smoking out in front of the bathroom, right? And
Yeah.
like right behind me, I heard three knocks, three now locks, like, and I like, it spooked me because I turned around. I'm like, what? So I like flicked my cigarette. I went back into the house,
Yeah.
and my roommate, she was just sitting on the couch watching TV. And I'm like, hey, were you just in the bathroom? Did you just knock on the wall? And she's like, no. And she's like, no one's been in the bathroom. Like, so, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, I told her what had happened. And then she was big into like, she knew symbolism and all that stuff. And we both agreed that the three knocks was kind of significant. Like threes and sixes and nines and all that crap usually has some
It's like the
like
devil
evil.
walk-
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
like the three is like the
Yeah,
demonic or
bro.
whatever?
Yeah. So it was like,
Hell no.
what the
Like-
fuck, dude? So let me tell you some more about some crap that used to go on at that house. So, I had a few Hispanic roommates, and what is it, the Day of the Dead or whatever the hell?
Oh yeah, Dia de los Muertos.
There you go. Well, dude, I remember because like there are times like I would stay up super, super late watching TV, and I'd be the only person up in the house. Well, I remember for the Day of the Dead, they started putting what was it, like flour or something, flour or cornmeal, one of those things. Like
Mhm.
they sprinkled it around like all the doorways and stuff like that. And I
Yeah,
had
it's-
actually,
keep the ghosts away. I mean, they keep the dead from entering or something.
okay, so they did that shit, and it just so happened on that night, I was like up late watching TV on the couch, and I remember like around 3 a.m. or something, dude. I was like passed out on the couch watching TV still, but passed out. And I remember it felt like someone would like had walked by me or something, and I like woke up immediately out of my sleep, and there was no one there. And then
But
I remember I was kind of disturbed for some reason, plus thinking to myself, like, oh crap, the damn Day of the Dead bullshit. I'm like, and it's like 3 a.m, and I'm like, whoa, fuck,
Yeah.
like there's some fucking stupid shit going on right now. And I'm like, whatever. And I'm like, I just find something on TV that was cool to watch or whatever. And I'm just watching TV. And the kitchen's like right around. Gabe kind of knows the house. I don't know if he remembers it, but
Yeah, I
the
kind of
kitchen-
remember it.
Okay,
That
so
always was like a trip, and that
oh,
back
bro, right?
trip.
Yeah, right. So I'll get
Right
to
when you
that in a
turn
bit.
right,
I'll
it
get
gets a
to that
little
in a bit.
nutty, huh?
I'll get to that in a bit. But I'm in the living room watching TV, man. And,
Yeah.
you know, mind you, this
I need a
just
refill. I'll
happened.
be right back.
Okay. This
Like, keep
just
talking.
okay. This just woke me up out of my sleep. That kind of disturbing feeling of like someone was like around or something, you know.
That
But
presence.
I didn't. Yeah, there's a presence, man. Because here's what happened next. I'm sitting here watching TV, and I shit you not, VR, like I hear someone in the kitchen, like, and then I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, no one else is awake right now. I know no one else is awake in the house. Like, I'm the only jackass awake right now. You know?
That's how it usually happens, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So then I kind of, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna go into the kitchen. I'm just gonna sit
Mhm.
here and watch TV. I don't care. Well, I'm like, I don't even want to see anything if there is. So I'm like, I'm not gonna go investigate. Screw that, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm so close to the kitchen too. Like, I could literally hop into the kitchen couch, you know.
Yeah.
But so I started watching TV again, man. And I shit you not, dude, like with my peripheral vision, it felt like something popped his head out over the wall and just popped back again real quick, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, and I'm like, did I just see what the hell I thought I just saw, you know?